back, everybody, to another episode of Clashin' with Miss G Pops. I know it's been a little while since I put out a video, and what a way to come back with a YouTube video for you guys. So I did it. I finally did it. 5,200. I got the hammer. I've been trying to get this hammer. The last week I've been pushing for it. I got up to 5161, tilted so bad. Even yesterday I tilted down to 4750 and then just climbed back. So how did I do it? Let's take a look. We've got a number of matches here that went kind of crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the last 3 matches of kind of what happened to get into 5,200. So we started off this one with a nearly mirror matchup. And let's take a look. I am playing the Hog Rider Mortar deck. And it's not maybe the most ideal deck for this current meta, but based on my card levels, it is the best deck for me to be pushing with at this time. Lots of common cards. They can level up really nicely, and only a couple rare cards. I did switch out the Valkyrie for the Knight because the Valkyrie does have more value right now. So playing up against a Mortar mirror or nearly mirror deck, my Mortar, I'm basically always going to be using it on defense. They're going to place their mortar down with support troops like archers and goblin gang and those sorts of things. So my mortar on defense is going to get incredible value. So that's what I did just there. I was able to shut down the push, no problem. And now all they have left is coming down the lane is a knight. And I do have a bit of an elixir lead as well. So... And I knew that I had a little bit of an elixir lead, but once I played down those minions, we were pretty much back to even. So I'm trying to get better with counting my elixir. I watched Colton W's video on how to do that. And if anybody hasn't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. And just to try to learn the skills for doing that. So here, I had a nice lucky push here. I was able to get my archers down in time, and my Hog Riders still got a hit on that tower, which is so dirty. And I was able to take their mortar out as well. So going forward here, again, I didn't want to push too hard. One mistake that I kind of make sometimes is either over defending or doing something crazy. So that right there was a bit of a slip. That was going to be not the mortar. That was going to be a different card, but instead I played the mortar there. So I was like, all right, now I got to really pull back and chill because I can't do anything with that. So I knew I basically lost the next couple exchange of troops. So they were playing it really chill, and I was like, I'm going to go in with my Hog Rider. They actually misplaced their mortar, which was huge. So I decided to capitalize on that. I fireballed, hoping to catch that one archer there, but I did miss it. And here, all I have to do is defend now with 40 seconds left on the clock. All I need is a zap on that one tower. So it's just defend, defend, defend. On ladder, you have to be able to decide when do you pull back and when do you continue to put the pressure on. And that also depends on which deck you're currently using. With this style of deck, you can stay defensive. I misplaced my mortar there. It didn't pull the hog, but I did have enough elixir for my minions, so that was taking it out no problem. Also on the other side, my one goblin was able to stab that tower, so I also saved not having to use a zap on that. So I saved 2 elixir to put towards defense on the other side here. So I knew he was coming in with another Hog Rider push. I put my goblins nice and high to try to distract the support troops, and I was able to take the W on this one. So again, mirror matchup. I honestly recommend to stay on defense, let them make the first move. Going into the second matchup here, we went up against a Expo Mirror Muskie deck, and this was a crazy one. I've learned how to play Expo decks a little bit better, or against Expo decks a little bit better. Before, I used to get a little too over anxious to drop a lot of cards to make sure that I was distracting that Expo so that it didn't latch onto the tower. But I actually found the more relaxed I got and the less troops I played on the board, the better I would do. Here, I played the mortar. They defended it with a Tesla tower. So instead of going and throwing my goblins in, trying to take down the Tesla, I just left it, and that is what it is. So here, if I had a musketeer in this deck, which I will hopefully have soon. I've got a level 9, so once we get her leveled up, then we'll be able to get her into this deck here. But the great thing is when they place that X-Bow down, or even before they place it down, if you can predict it, you place your Musketeer right next to the wall of the on your side, and just basically try and snipe out that X-Bow before it's able to do too much damage, while using either your Valkyrie or the mortar to distract the X-Bow. So here I went in expecting what they did last time. They placed the Tesla to defend against the mortar. So I knew that was likely coming based on their rotation and based on how they previously defended it. So I predicted that this time and put the minions in front, and that really paid off, getting a couple shots on the tower. Here, this Musketeer, there wasn't really much to do with it, but taking advice from, again, Colton's video, not playing a spell in that situation to just zap the Musketeer, play the goblins, and it's possible that that your opponent might need to commit Elixir to defend whatever troop you drop down. So here we're basically even again. I'm about 1 elixir behind, or 1.5 elixir. So I decided to take it slow. I knew that X-Bow was coming, so I played the Valkyrie down. And I knew that Valkyrie was going to be toast pretty quickly. And here is again, you place those archers or your Musketeer right against the wall of the arena there, and it snipes out the X-Bow, and the Tesla didn't even touch it. So I got a ton of value out of those archers. My mortar here was able to take out a bunch of that Musketeer, and even tried to help with the Tesla tower, but the Tesla was already down there. We do get one shot on the Tesla. Anything to try and take down those defenses quicker is great. You don't want to let your opponent build up X-Bows and Tesla towers, because that's when you can really get into trouble. Here, I misplayed the Valkyrie. It should have been 1 tile up, so actually the X-Bow did get on my tower. So I didn't panic, which before I would have panicked. And this time I just placed the mortar down to get something on the map that can help to with the splash damage, and just take care of it. Drop my troops and don't panic. So here I decided to push the other lane just to see if I could get them to drop their Tesla over there so that I didn't have to deal with it on the X-Bow side. Leaked a little bit of elixir here, and I wasn't sure where to place my mortar. He wasn't really committing a lot to the board. So I just wanted to get that mortar on. I'm not worried about splash damage of it splashing the tower. Here I got a great fireball, took out that Musketeer, as well as getting a bunch of damage onto that X-Bow. Here the Tesla was almost done, so I wasn't too afraid of putting the Valkyrie in the same lane, and just going in for this big push, trying to get some damage and break through. Hog Rider does get onto the tower and gets 2 swings, which is massive if you can get 2 swings out of your Hog Rider. So here I do get the mortar down, and perfectly he played the goblins and the Musketeer, and so my Valkyrie just got killer damage. It's working on the Tesla right now, but the X-Bow again gets onto the tower, and I was able to get some little troops as well to the tower. Minion got about 3 hits on the tower, which is massive. So it's down to 286 now. I know all that I need left is a fireball and a zap, so I'm just going to again keep it back. I missed the Musketeer, but it's not a big deal, because again, just need to cycle a card to get to my zap, and that's the W. So it felt good. X-Bow, typically when I had played this deck, I was having a lot of trouble against X-Bow, especially the 2.9 cycle X-Bow deck. So I was really happy to take that one down. Now, this next matchup, definitely a toughie for me. My deck actually is not great at facing P.E.K.K.A, especially a max P.E.K.K.A like that. I don't have a lot of... it's not a bait deck that I'm using. So if they fireball or arrow my archers, my minions, and I only have on the board regular goblins, regular stab goblins to take care of distracting that P.E.K.K.A, that's not a whole lot. So I definitely have run into trouble with this deck with the Big Mama P.E.K.K.A, depending on the types of spells. And as you can see here right off the bat, they have zap and arrows in their 3 Musketeer deck. So that definitely made it a little trickier. Also, anybody that watches my live streams, you'll know that me and 3 Musketeers, we don't get along very well. And it's really, they're my nemesis. This is bottom line, they're my nemesis. So they're a great card. They will always be a part of the meta because it's very, very strong. But me personally, I just don't do well at it. For whatever reason, I suck at Three Musketeers. I suck at playing them, and I suck at defending them. I was very fortunate here in my first push to take out their pump with my fireball, as well as get a crap ton of damage done on this tower, gain it down to 292. So when I saw the Big Mama P.E.K.K.A, I was like, oh, okay. So this is going to be a little tricky, but at least all I need to do is focus on defense. So I get my mortar down in preparation so that I can at least pull the P.E.K.K.A somewhere. I've got my archers, which I'm going to place down to start sniping out that P.E.K.K.A. But then the Three Musketeers comes, and I know that I need the Valkyrie on the left-hand side for the Two Musketeers. I just need it. So Big Mama P.E.K.K.A does get onto the tower, and a full health Musketeer is going to unload on that tower, bringing it down to 1034. So I'm nervous at this point. I'm sweating. I'm not going to lie, because I've been trying to get 5200 forever. Like non-stop, pushing on ladder, pushing on streams. I had a 6-hour stream on Friday with a 0 luck of getting to 5200. So I wanted this very, very bad. So here, taking a look, that pump was dropped down on the 292 tower. I could have dropped down my fireball, but again, I wanted to save it for defense. I figured, you know what, let's get some damage done on the second tower, just in case they're going to go ahead and take one of my towers. I want to have a lead already going in into overtime if it comes down to a 2-tower game. So that archer got 2 smacks on the tower, which actually would have brought it down to zap range, which is beautiful for me. But I did go ahead and fireball because they gave me the value. So I saved 2 elixir by not having to zap it in the future. And I was able to take those 2 musketeers out. Because they hadn't cycled back to their arrows yet, my minions got incredible value, taking out the bomber and then going ahead and getting some value on the tower as well. So having the one tower cleaned out and having the other tower down to 818, I was fairly confident that even if they were able to take one tower, I'd be able to come back and take down their second tower with ease. But I didn't have to, and I caught the W, and that's how I got 5200. I can't believe it. I was so unbelievably pumped, and it was just great. Unfortunately, it didn't happen on stream, but that means I'm going to make this great video and throw it up on YouTube for you guys. So that's how I did it. This, again, is the deck that I used. It's solid. It has a lot of classic cards. You have your archers, your minions, stab goblins, Valkyrie, your Hog Rider, and the mortar, and then the 2 spells being the fireball and the zap. This deck is definitely strong because of those classic cards. I decided to invest my gold in these cards because they're never going to be nerfed completely out of the meta, especially archers, minions, goblins. These are cards that will always be around because they're stable. They've been around since the beginning of the game. So it's a good investment into your account and building forward. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. I appreciate it so much, and I love all of you so much. Thank you for all of your support, and it's just been an incredible journey so far. So I thank you so much, everybody. You can like and subscribe the video. That would be wonderful. You can also follow me on Twitter, Discord, and Facebook if you would like updates and to be a part of the community. Please come and hang out. Everybody is welcome, and I love everybody here. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys in my streams and in the next video. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time.